On December 30, 2025, at around 2:30 in the afternoon, a normal day in Scott, Louisiana, came to a sudden stop. Police received an urgent call about a shooting on Lerhonda Avenue. It was the middle of the day when people are usually awake, working, or running errands. When police arrived, they found a woman who had been shot. Her name was Lerhonda Carter, also known as LuLu. She was 40 years old. She was alive when officers found her, but she was badly hurt.
Our team coverage continues tonight as people are responding to the shooting and the life lost of a local businesswoman who News 10's Renee Allen learns had a vision for her life.
A local business owner, entrepreneur, tragically lost their life on social media. Condolences of prayer and peace for LuLu Carter. A business community in shock and many heartbroken by the sudden loss of 40-year-old Lerhonda LuLu Carter. Carter was known for her many ventures, including the Bliss Lounge on Jefferson Street and the French 75 Bar and Lounge on McKinley, both located in downtown Lafayette. One person referred to her as a fashionista due to her unique style. They noted she always dressed to impress, even when dressing down. A person called her business-oriented, loved travel, and God-fearing. One person even told News 10 that Carter, as a black female entrepreneur, was able to overcome numerous hurdles to successfully establish a thriving club in downtown Lafayette. One person even said that there was still so much more to come from Carter.
An ambulance took her to the hospital as fast as it could. Later that same day, doctors said Lerhonda Carter did not survive. First, there were very few answers. Police did not say what caused the shooting. They did not explain who was with her or why she was at that place. All they confirmed was that a woman was shot during the afternoon, and her life ended hours later. Soon after, police arrested two men. One man was charged with second-degree murder. The second man was charged with helping after the crime. Police said the investigation was still open, and many details were not shared with the public. This left many questions. What happened before the shooting? Why was Lerhonda Carter on Lerhonda Avenue that day? How did police connect the suspects to the crime? What evidence led to the arrests? You're watching Global Crime Venue, where viral fame hides chilling secrets. From TikTok dancers and Instagram couples to rising Facebook personalities, we reveal the dark side of the spotlight. When the perfect posts turn into tragedies, we break down exactly how it all unraveled. These aren't just online stories, they're real cases with real victims. And while you're here, tell us where you're watching from in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new case breakdown. In our next episode, we'll dive into another shocking story of love, control, and a hidden danger that no one saw coming. Here's the untold side of what really happened. The case begins on December 30, 2025, in Scott, Louisiana, when a shooting was reported on Lerhonda Avenue during the afternoon hours. The location was a public street within a residential and light traffic area. Law enforcement later confirmed that the incident involved a single victim, Lerhonda LuLu Carter, age 40. The report immediately classified the event as a serious violent crime due to the use of a firearm and the condition of the victim when officers arrived. Emergency dispatch received the call at approximately 2:30 p.m. Officers were sent to the scene without delay. Upon arrival, they located Carter suffering from gunshot wounds. Medical responders were already en route or arrived shortly after police secured the immediate area. Officers assessed the situation, confirmed the victim's identity, and ensured there was no ongoing threat to the public at that time. Carter was placed into emergency medical care and transported to a nearby hospital for treatment. The extent of her injuries was not publicly detailed at the time, but authorities confirmed that her condition was critical. Hospital staff attempted life-saving measures following standard trauma procedures. Later that same day, medical officials pronounced Lerhonda Carter deceased as a result of the injuries sustained during the shooting. Once the victim was transported, police shifted full attention to the scene itself. Lerhonda Avenue was partially closed to traffic to allow investigators to work without interruption. Officers established a perimeter using marked vehicles and physical barriers. This step was taken to prevent contamination of the area and to control access while evidence was located and documented. Investigators conducted an initial survey of the scene to identify physical evidence related to the shooting. This included locating shell casings, documenting the position where the victim was found, and noting any visible signs of a struggle or movement before or after the firearm was discharged. Photographs and measurements were taken to preserve the condition of the scene as it appeared at the time officers arrived. Detectives also began identifying potential witnesses in the area. Nearby residents and individuals who may have been present around the time of the incident were noted for follow-up interviews. Officers collected basic information, but did not release statements publicly. Any available surveillance cameras in the vicinity were identified for possible review, including residential systems or nearby businesses. Lerhonda LuLu Carter was a 40-year-old woman known within the Lafayette and Scott, Louisiana area. Her full legal name was Lerhonda Carter, though many people referred to her by the nickname LuLu. She lived and worked in the same region where the shooting later occurred. Her daily life involved managing multiple responsibilities tied to business operations, property interests, and local partnerships. She was not a transient figure in the area, but someone whose activities were centered within the surrounding community. Carter's background reflected a focus on entrepreneurship rather than public office or entertainment. She was not known primarily through social media or national exposure. Instead, her presence developed through consistent involvement in local ventures. She interacted with business owners, employees, and patrons regularly. Her work required coordination with staff, vendors, and clients, placing her in frequent contact with a wide range of people across different settings. This routine engagement made her name familiar within specific professional circles. Her business career was largely connected to the hospitality industry. Carter owned or managed lounge and nightlife establishments in the Lafayette area. These venues operated as social spaces that required compliance with local regulations, staffing management, scheduling, and customer service oversight. Running such businesses involved handling licensing, security coordination, and daily operational decisions. Her role placed her in charge of both financial outcomes and personnel responsibilities tied to these locations. In addition to hospitality, Carter was also associated with real estate interests. This included ownership, management, or investment in property connected to her business activities. Real estate involvement required familiarity with leasing agreements, property maintenance, and long-term planning. These activities complemented her hospitality work by providing physical locations for operations or income generation. Her combined focus on venues and property positioned her as a business operator rather than a single industry participant. Carter's public reputation was shaped largely by her professional footprint. She was known as someone who owned businesses rather than someone who sought attention. Community members recognized her name because of the places she operated and the economic activity tied to them. Employees, partners, and customers interacted with her through structured business relationships. This visibility came from commerce, not controversy, prior to the incident that led to her death. After news of her death became public, reactions within the community followed established patterns seen when a local business owner is killed. Individuals connected to her work acknowledged her role in the local economy. Conversations focused on the sudden loss of someone actively involved in multiple ventures. Public discussion centered on confirmed facts rather than speculation, as authorities released limited information during the early stages of the investigation. The sequence of events began during the afternoon hours of late December 2025, when authorities were alerted to a violent incident in Scott, Louisiana. The alert referenced gunfire in a populated area, prompting an immediate emergency response. Dispatch categorized the call as critical based on the information received, indicating a serious injury had already occurred. Patrol units were directed to the reported location without delay. When officers reached the area, they observed a female individual with visible gunshot trauma. The victim was later confirmed to be Lerhonda Carter. Officers first evaluated the surroundings to determine whether the danger had passed, ensuring no additional individuals were at risk before proceeding further. After confirming the situation was under control, officers began standard on-scene procedures. Traffic flow was redirected, and bystanders were kept at a distance. The goal was to maintain the integrity of the location, while allowing emergency personnel to work efficiently. Officers documented initial observations through written notes and visual recording methods. Medical responders arrived shortly afterward and assumed responsibility for patient care. Emergency treatment was initiated immediately based on the injuries observed. Once stabilized for transport, Carter was placed into an ambulance and taken to a medical facility equipped to handle severe trauma cases. As the ambulance departed, investigators remained behind to begin formal scene processing. This stage involved identifying and preserving materials relevant to the discharge of a firearm. Specific areas were marked for later forensic review, and objects of interest were left undisturbed pending further examination by specialized units. At the hospital, Carter underwent intensive medical intervention. Physicians followed established emergency protocols in an effort to counter the effects of her injuries. Despite those efforts, her condition worsened. Medical staff later confirmed that she succumbed to complications directly linked to the gunshot wounds. Following the initial investigation, law enforcement identified 2 individuals connected to the shooting of Lerhonda LuLu Carter. The first suspect, James Michael Joseph, was taken into custody under suspicion of causing the death through the use of a firearm. Authorities indicated that evidence gathered during the early stage of the investigation linked him to the crime, leading to his formal charge. The second individual, Jesse Howard Alfred Jr., was arrested in connection to the incident but not as the primary actor. He faced a charge of accessory after the fact, which indicates involvement in assisting, concealing, or supporting the principal suspect after the crime had occurred. Law enforcement confirmed that his role was considered secondary, but still legally significant. Both arrests occurred shortly after police completed initial evidence collection at the scene and reviewed early witness reports. Officers coordinated their actions to ensure the apprehension of both individuals, while minimizing risk to the public and maintaining control of the investigation. The timing of the arrests suggested that authorities acted on leads developed rapidly through forensic and testimonial sources. During the booking process, both suspects were formally entered into the criminal justice system. Their identities, charges, and the locations of detention were confirmed publicly. This phase followed standard procedures, including fingerprinting, recording personal information, and documentation of the alleged offenses, consistent with Louisiana criminal law requirements. Law enforcement made limited public statements regarding the arrests. Officials confirmed the charges and noted that both suspects were in custody, but they withheld detailed descriptions of the evidence to prevent compromising the ongoing investigation. Statements emphasized that the case remained active, and that further developments would depend on additional forensic testing and interviews. Investigators continued reviewing potential connections between the suspects and the victim. This included examining prior communications, locations frequented, and possible interactions between the individuals before the incident. Police stated that these steps were standard investigative measures to build a complete understanding of the circumstances surrounding the crime. Authorities have confirmed that the investigation into Lerhonda Carter's death is ongoing, but many specifics have not been made public. Key pieces of information, such as the exact sequence of events leading to the shooting, the suspect's movements prior to the incident, and any possible interactions with the victim that day, have not been disclosed. Officials have stressed that releasing unverified information could hinder investigative progress. At this stage, law enforcement has not shared a confirmed motive for the shooting. While public discussion has included speculation regarding business-related conflicts or personal disputes, authorities have not verified any particular reason. Investigators have maintained that all potential scenarios remain under review until evidence can substantiate claims. This includes examining both professional and personal connections of the victim and suspects. Investigators continue to collect and analyze physical evidence from the scene and surrounding areas. This includes reviewing items that may have been touched, moved, or left behind during the incident. Each item undergoes documentation and forensic analysis to determine its relevance to the events. The process ensures that no potential clues are overlooked and that evidence can be accurately presented in any future legal proceedings. Witness accounts remain a critical component of the ongoing inquiry. Law enforcement has interviewed individuals who were near the scene or may have observed activity before, during, or after the shooting. Officers are assessing consistency, credibility, and potential relevance of these statements. Witness input is being compared with physical evidence and surveillance information to construct a detailed timeline of the events. Surveillance footage from the area is also under review. Police have identified potential camera sources, including residential and commercial properties, to track movements near Lerhonda Avenue at the time of the incident. This footage may provide visual confirmation of interactions, arrivals, or departures relevant to the investigation. Accessing and analyzing recordings requires time and coordination, which is part of the reason authorities have limited public disclosures. Digital evidence is being evaluated as part of the investigation. Law enforcement is reviewing phone records, communication logs, and other electronic data that may connect the victim and suspects. Analysts are determining timing, locations, and interactions to identify patterns or corroborate statements. Any findings from digital evidence are carefully cross-referenced with physical evidence and witness accounts to ensure accuracy. In Louisiana, second-degree murder is defined as the intentional killing of a person without premeditation. This category of homicide does not require prior planning, but involves deliberate action with the intent to cause death or great bodily harm. The law distinguishes second-degree murder from first-degree murder by the absence of pre-planning, yet the charge still carries significant criminal penalties. A person charged with second-degree murder may be accused of acting in a way that demonstrates clear intent to harm another individual. This can include the use of a firearm, physical force, or other methods likely to result in serious injury or death. The state must prove intent and causation to secure a conviction, relying on evidence such as witness statements, forensic findings, or digital records. The charge of accessory after the fact applies to an individual who knowingly assists someone who has committed a felony, with the intention of helping them avoid arrest, prosecution, or punishment. This includes providing shelter, concealing evidence, or offering advice that aids the principal offender. Louisiana law treats this offense as separate from the original crime, but still subject to criminal penalties. In practice, accessory charges require prosecutors to demonstrate knowledge and participation. Authorities must establish that the person was aware of the crime and intentionally took steps to assist the suspect after the offense occurred. Evidence for this can include communication records, physical assistance, or corroborating witness testimony, linking the accessory to the primary suspect. Homicide investigations in Louisiana generally follow a structured process. Investigators secure the scene, collect physical evidence, and document environmental factors. Early actions focus on preserving evidence that could be crucial in establishing how, when, and why a death occurred. Each step is carefully recorded to maintain integrity for potential court proceedings. Detectives typically conduct interviews with witnesses, family members, and acquaintances to gather information about the victim and potential suspects. These statements are compared with physical and digital evidence to verify accuracy and identify inconsistencies. Investigators also utilize surveillance footage, phone records, and forensic analysis to construct a comprehensive timeline of events leading up to and following the death. Following the announcement of Lerhonda Carter's death, local news outlets quickly began reporting on the incident. Television, radio, and online platforms provided updates on the shooting, confirming the victim's identity and the arrests of the two suspects. Reports focused on verified information from police statements, emphasizing that the investigation was ongoing and that additional details would be shared once confirmed. Community members also responded through social media platforms, sharing news articles and updates about the case. Posts ranged from factual summaries of the incident to requests for more information. Online discussions highlighted the public's interest in understanding the circumstances surrounding the shooting, while moderators and local authorities encouraged accuracy and discouraged speculation. Local journalists sought official commentary from law enforcement and city officials. Press releases outlined basic facts, including the location of the shooting, the time of day, and the charges filed against the suspects. News agencies emphasized that the investigation remained active, and reporters cautioned against drawing conclusions before additional evidence was presented. Calls for information from the public became a significant part of the investigation. Law enforcement encouraged anyone with knowledge of the shooting, or who may have seen suspicious activity, to come forward. Tip lines, email contacts, and direct communication with local police departments were established to collect credible leads efficiently and systematically. The community response extended beyond digital platforms. Residents living near Delham Avenue shared observations and experiences with reporters, including patterns of traffic, nearby events, or unusual activity around the time of the shooting. These accounts were logged by authorities for potential follow-up and corroboration with other evidence. Media coverage continued to monitor the progress of the case. Outlets tracked official statements, arrest records, and court filings. They highlighted procedural updates such as forensic analysis and ongoing interviews, reporting in a factual manner without including speculation about motive or personal details beyond what was confirmed by investigators. Public engagement remained focused on gathering facts. Authorities emphasized that tips, witness accounts, and additional surveillance could provide critical information to help clarify the sequence of events. Residents and journalists were asked to prioritize accuracy while supporting the investigative process, ensuring that the information shared contributed to building a complete understanding of the case. And that concludes today's case. But remember, this is just one of countless stories the world has yet to uncover. Here on Global Crime Venue, our mission is to uncover the facts, honor the victims who can no longer speak, and make sure their stories are never erased. If what you heard today made you think, know this, more cases are on the way that will shock you, haunt you, and change the way you look at social media and the world around you. Be sure to subscribe, tap the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. New investigations are released regularly, and trust me, you'll want to be here when the next story breaks. Before you leave, share your thoughts in the comments. What stood out to you most in this case? Your voice keeps these stories alive. Until we meet again, stay cautious, stay informed, and never forget, justice starts with truth. Global Crime Venue, uncovering the stories behind the screen.